In this video series, I'm going to walk through the process I would use to create a drill jig so that I could drill and tap and countersink these 5/16/18 holes. First thing I need to do is pull up my drill chart, and I see that for a 5/16/18 threaded hole, I need a letter F drill, which is 0.257 diameter. So the next thing I would do is I'm going to put this into an assembly. So I'm going to say File, Make Assembly from Part. I'm working in SolidWorks, and I'm working in inch. So I'm going to start an inch assembly template. Then over here I'm going to make sure I'm working with my correct configuration. I can look at the thumbnail preview if that helps. I want a graphics preview so I can see how it's going to come in. I'm just going to select the isometric view, but before I place it, I don't want to click yet because I'd like it in a different orientation. So I'm going to push the tab button to rotate it around, and there's the orientation I would like in my jig. So I'm going to click to place it, and these are up. Now if I want to change its orientation, remember I can right click on this and I can float it, but I like that orientation, so I'm going to come here, tell it to show me shade it with edges, and then I can continue from here. Before I go much further, I should be giving some thought to about how I'm going to index this part for the holes. I could use a trunnion as shown here, or I could go with a variation of the old whirly jig grinding fixture. It's always reliable and does a good job. But this time I'm going to go with a collet locking fixture and an indexing pin similar to the one shown here. So one of the first things I want to do is I want to size out my drill bushing, and I want to place it into the assembly. Now the next thing I know is that the end of the bushing must have a gap. We look at the part this way, between the end of the drill bushing and the edge of the part. And that gap has to be between 1/2 to 1.5 times my drill diameter, 0.257. So in other words, half of my gap is roughly 1/8 of an inch, to 1.5 times is 3/8. So I want a gap between this tangent edge and the end of the bushing of between 1/8 and 3/8. So I'll choose the middle. I'll make a 1/4 inch gap. To do that, I'm first going to create a plane in the assembly. So I'm going to expand this part, however, and I'm going to look at its planes. And here's the top plane of it. And I'm going to go Reference Geometry Plane. And remember, I'm not editing my part, so I'm creating a plane in the assembly. And I want to make a parallel plane to this face. So I just create a plane tangent to that face. I right click to accept it. With that plane still selected, I'm going to come back to Reference Geometry, and this time I'm going to create an offset plane. And I'm going to make my offset that 1/4 inch. And I'm going to name this plane Bushing Gap. So I've created that plane, and now I want to use that plane. So I'm going to click here in white space. I'm going to right click and collapse all of this. So these two planes I just created are in the assembly. It's important my part is fixed in the correct orientation and location, and I'm going to build the jig around the part. So before I build the jig, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the drill bushing I want to use online or out of the design library, and I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to mate it into the proper location. So first I have to calculate my drill bushing sizes. I know the ID of the bushing the drill will pass through is 0.257. Next, I need to calculate its length, and its length should be 1 to 2 times the drill diameter. So for my part, the length of the bushing should be 1/4 to 1/2 inch long. They're only going to come in standard sizes, so I'm going to go with a 1/2 inch long bushing. Now that I know the ID and the length of the bushing I want, the next step is to go online to various sellers and find one that works. So here I found one with a 1/2 inch OD that I'll use. Next, I need to find a liner bushing to suit it. And I'm going with a slip fit renewable bushing so that I can take it out after drilling and then run the tap and the countersink tool through the liner bushing. The liner bushing will need to have an ID of a 1/2 inch and a length of a 1/2 inch. So again, I'm going to go online to the suppliers, and here I've found one, the L-48-4, which will work for my part. In the next video, I'll continue designing this jig by creating an assembly of the bushings and then placing them at the correct location into this assembly.